In this episode of Dynamite Radio, Kevin Samuels crosses paths with the Honorable Judge Joe Brown for the very first time. What commenced was a thought-provoking exchange with heated moments that called for both introspection and accountability. Due to the untimely death of Kevin Samuels, we would never witness these two ideological giants cross paths more than once, as this was the first and only time. So without further ado, this was that exchange.
Well, here's the ultimate what it comes right down to. These conversations get heated, but here's what it's always going to come down to. Black men and black women, fundamentally, the biggest problem is Obsidian was right. And this conversation is kind of black men and black women fundamentally don't get along. If you cannot get along with the male and female, how do you get relationship, marriage, family? How do you get the fundamental unit of a community, of a family, if the man and the woman can't even have a conversation? This is why at the root of all of our stuff, we get together and have babies, but we can't stay married because here's the sad part. I believe that there's a case that can be made that black men and black women are just fundamentally one. It's something else Obsidian says. And like it or not, I didn't listen to him. But we want different things. We are on different paths. We don't talk to one another. But I will say this. I have been a part of, since '89, been part of relationship seminars and so forth. I find black men are far more willing to hear out black women in the group than black women are willing to hear out black men. We get shouted down to the point to where brothers just throw their hands up and like, I don't even want to talk no more because you don't want to hear what we saying. That's why you get all these fringe movements.
Let me interject something in here. This is from Joe Brown. My analysis that I've done over the years is that black culture is such that black women blame black men in great part for their part of the situation. In other words, if we had real men, we wouldn't suffer like we do. Okay? They are, for the most part, the sole parent a child gets contact with these days. But unfortunately, what they are programmed to teach the children is the exact opposite of what they need to teach the children if they are to generate grown men who will do something about that part of the equation. Now, you touched on something profound, and you made me think of somebody I worked around for all 15 years I had at that program. Every time I went in there, she was one of the people who worked in the green room. She now is 66 years old. She's white, but she's never dated a white man in her whole life. And she said, I look at a black man and I know that if he's doing anything comparable to what a white man is doing, he had to work 4 times as hard, so he's a more impressive man. Second thing, I know he's so damn tired of always being in a fight with his black women about it doesn't make any difference what they're fighting about. There's got to be some bone of contention just because the black woman wants to win at something. And the only person she can possibly win with is at home. She says, I've dated a lot of Jamaican men, and they have a thing where it's unseemly for a Jamaican man to argue with a woman. He says, there is a difference. He said, but the black man who is doing A is a much more impressive creature than a white man who's doing A. And he will be more loyal to you than any white man will, because a white man looks at you as an object and the black man kind of venerates you. And on top of that, when you're not fighting him, he looks at you with almost worship because you are not an adversary. He expects you to be his worst adversary. And then when I got through thinking about that, I said, I was with this last wife for almost 20 years, and it got so the most adversarial portion of my day was coming home. It's like,
yes, sir.
Why are you
in the driveway
doing
too? Mm-hmm.
It's like either
you're not
working, either you're not working hard enough, or you're working so hard that they don't have enough quality time. It's like you try to strike a balance, you never can, just because that's not the point of the exercise. The point of the exercise is I want to win at something. I can't win at life. So at home, at least I can say I won at home. Now that's kind of sick.
Well, and this is what the brother was trying to say in the chat room. Women of non-black women are seeing that black men are good men. And as a black man in corporate America, yes, Judge, everywhere I knew I was a pepper in the speck of salt. The higher up I went, the whiter it got. And I had to work 3 times as hard to get half the credit. So they expected me to marry out with a white woman, but no, I married a black woman. And I feel you, Judge, because I'm sitting there like my non-black counterparts don't deal with nearly the shit I'm dealing with. I done married you, that took your son in. I mean, please, anyway, you don't have to do nothing except be nice. And I couldn't even get that from you. So look, brothers are to the point to where we love y'all, honestly, this is my opinion. We love y'all more than y'all love us. We love y'all almost to the point, and men should love women, and women should love children. But here's the problem: the social contract has been broken. And black men, if other women are starting to look at your black men with reverence and saying he's nice, he's this, what do non-black women see in black men that black women can't see? Why are they going? That's why I'm saying if 30% of black men are marrying out, that's 3 out of 10. That's 3 that could be with a black woman. We got to ask, okay, what are these other women seeing?
Let me add a little mix in here. Okay, I've been in this legal profession for going on, about 50 years, okay? And I'll never forget this. This woman I was involved with, she was taking a grad school course, and she started discussing this case, and the facts of the case I found were interesting because the opinion she was reading was written by guess who? Me. So I was going to tell her about the facts of this case and what it was really about because she wasn't getting it. So I wrote it. She's studying it, but she doesn't realize I'm the one that wrote it. So she's going to argue with me that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. And it's just like this white woman that dated black all the time. She said, I've noticed another thing about black women. She says, just like you, I listen to you and yours sometimes. It's like, I don't care how much of a real authority you think you are or how much of an authority you actually are. Your woman, if she's black, is going to think she knows more about it than you do. She says, you know what else is peculiar? I've watched your interaction with these white executives around here. You are a straight black man. You don't take any shit from anybody. And you've got a much greater education than any one of these bozos up in here. But they refuse to admit that there is a black man who knows anything they don't know better. And they act just like black women. I find it interesting that white men act toward black men just like black women do. In other words, there's a constant squabble because no matter what you know, how expert you are in it, how many people acknowledge that, how many papers you've written about it, your black woman will know more about it even if all she is a hairdresser.
Judge Joe Brown, what you just said, there's not a hair's difference between the way white men and black women look at black men. That is fundamental to the way a lot of black men see this. And if that's what you said it, people in the manosphere said it. Like it or not, I've heard other people whose names I'm not going to say said it. I'm wondering, what is it going to take for sisters who want to answer these questions before they start listening to what men are saying? You're being compared to a white man and how you treat your brother.
Yeah, it's
Y'all
bad.
y'all gotta own it. Y'all gotta look at that.
And see, there's another thing too. I get a lot of rebound action. In other words, somebody I knew 30 years ago, 25 years ago, 35 years ago, and they're coming up to me, they want me to help them out. I said, no, I was trying to make moves on you that would have been legitimate back when we could have courted it, would have amounted to something. You didn't want to have any part of it because you decided you're going to get fly dude, you know, and now you got him and you're stuck with a mess. Don't come to me to clean it up.
There's a podcast called "I Refuse to Be the Cleanup Man" because so many men are doing exactly that. You know, in my generation, it was common to see black men who were stepfathers. Now black men are even pulling that. See, and we're to the point to where if we're going to get anywhere in the community, we're going to actually have to have a real conversation where the women are looked at and the men are looked at, and we see, do we want to be together? Do we want to be together, or do we just want to blend in and go away? Because this ain't working. This ain't working. This ain't working. This ain't working.
Be sure to subscribe for more content.